Today we listen to 3 events when God taught Saint Faustina about the power of reciting the chaplet at the hour of a soul's death. We read in paragraph 810. The following afternoon, when I entered the ward, I saw someone dying and learned that the agony had started during the night. When I verified it, it had been at the time when I had been asked for prayer. And just then, I heard a voice in my soul, "Say the chaplet which I taught you." I ran to fetch my rosary and knelt down by the dying person, and, with all the ardor of my soul, I began to say the chaplet. Suddenly, the dying person opened her eyes and looked at me. I had not managed to finish the entire chaplet when she died, with extraordinary peace. I fervently asked the Lord to fulfill the promise He had given me for the recitation of the chaplet. The Lord gave me to know that the soul had been granted the grace He had promised me. That was the first soul to receive the benefit of the Lord's promise. I could feel the power of mercy envelop that soul. When I entered my solitude, I heard these words, "At the hour of their death, I defend as my own glory every soul that will say this chaplet, or when others say it for a dying person, the indulgence is the same. When this chaplet is said by the bedside of a dying person, God's anger is placated. Unfathomable mercy envelops the soul, and the very depths of my tender mercy are moved for the sake of the sorrowful passion of my Son." And again in paragraph 1797, we read, "Today the Lord came to me and said, 'My daughter, help me to save souls. You will go to a dying sinner, and you will continue to recite the chaplet, and in this way you will obtain for him trust in my mercy, for he is already in despair.'" Suddenly, I found myself in a strange cottage, where an elderly man was dying amidst great torments. All about the bed was a multitude of demons, and the family who were crying. When I began to pray, the spirits of darkness fled, with hissing and threats directed at me. The soul became calm and, filled with trust, rested in the Lord. At the same moment, I found myself again in my own room. How this happens, I do not know. And finally, we read in paragraph 1565. "When I entered the chapel for a moment, the Lord said to me, 'My daughter, help me to save a certain dying sinner. Say the chaplet that I have taught you for him.' When I began to say the chaplet, I saw the man dying in the midst of terrible torment and struggle. His guardian angel was defending him, but he was, as it were, powerless against the enormity of the soul's misery. A multitude of devils was waiting for the soul. But while I was saying the chaplet, I saw Jesus, just as he is depicted in the image. The rays which issued from Jesus' heart enveloped the sick man, and the powers of darkness fled in panic. The sick man peacefully breathed his last. When I came to myself, I understood how very important the chaplet was for the dying. It appeases the anger of God.